Today, Instagram sits at the center of the cultural zeitgeist with over 2 billion active users. But that scale started with a single, unpolished photo of a stray dog at a Mexican taco stand. In 2010, Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger were struggling to build a check-in app called Bourbon. It was built on HTML and was incredibly clunky to use. Bourbon actually had a severe clutter problem. It was overloaded with complex features, and as a result, it was being completely overshadowed by its primary rival in the location-sharing space, Foursquare. So the founders did something drastic. They stripped Bourbon down to its most popular feature, sharing pictures. They renamed it Instagram, combining the words Instant Camera and Telegram. Recognizing the failure of a complicated app and pivoting to a single feature birthed a philosophy that would define the company for years. Look at a failure, find one simple problem, and engineer a solution. But in 2010, there was a glaring hardware problem. Early smartphone cameras were poor, producing grainy, washed-out images that were difficult to share with any pride. While on vacation in Mexico, Systrom's wife mentioned she probably wouldn't use the app. Her photos weren't high quality enough to share alongside the filtered, professional-looking posts of their friends. Systrom, who had previously used cheap physical toy cameras like the Holga during photography courses in Italy, realized he could write software to mask poor hardware. He translated that physical chemistry into code, creating the first digital filter, X Pro 2. When Instagram officially launched on October 6, 2010, the response was immediate. Within 24 hours, they had 25,000 users. Within months, they crossed 1 million. By engineering a software fix for low-quality mobile sensors, the app gave millions of people a reason to document their daily lives in real time. That growth immediately introduced a new problem. By 2012, Instagram was expanding so quickly that its independent servers were crashing almost every day. The infrastructure crisis was solved by Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion, providing endless server space, while promising the founders they would maintain creative independence. But another existential threat appeared soon after. Snapchat had captured younger audiences with a highly engaging temporary video format. Instagram responded with a ruthless solution. In 2016, they became a platform chameleon, cloning their rival's core feature and launching Instagram Stories. Solving these operational limits repositioned the company. It grew from a static photo feed into an aggressive, multifunctional corporate platform. As a subsidiary of Facebook, Instagram now faced a revenue problem. They needed to generate massive ad revenue, but a chronological feed where you simply scroll until you catch up on posts doesn't maximize time on screen. In 2016, Instagram abandoned the chronological timeline for an algorithmic feed. Instead of showing recent posts, the algorithm prioritizes high engagement content. As the highlight expands these larger nodes, updates from actual friends are pushed to the bottom. This created an infinite scroll, and that endless structure provided the real estate needed to seamlessly intersperse targeted advertisements. Solving for revenue changed the platform's basic utility. Instagram was now a machine built to maximize time on screen, placing user connections second to advertising volume. This brings us to the dark side of the startup ethos. When you apply simple software solutions to billions of complex human lives, the outcomes are difficult to control. Take the original solution of photo filters. What started as a way to mask bad lighting mutated into a global crisis of unrealistic beauty standards. A UK survey compared major social platforms' impact on youth mental health, with Instagram ranking at the very bottom. Breaking down the data, the platform is linked to spikes in body image anxiety, fear of missing out, and rising eating disorders. The psychological fallout eventually led to a legal showdown. 42 U.S. states filed coordinated lawsuits against Meta, accusing the company of knowingly endangering teenagers. A tool originally built to add a retro glow to an iPhone photo had evolved into a psychological force that warped an entire generation's perception of reality. The algorithmic feed created its own massive consequences. Optimizing purely for engagement led to moderation failures on an enormous scale. An engagement-blind algorithm promotes whatever keeps people clicking. This allowed the promotion of illicit drugs, black market human exploitation, and even algorithmic ads displaying rape threats to the families of victims. Meta attempted to use AI to solve the moderation crisis. Instead, the automated system triggered arbitrary shadow bans and waves of wrongful account lockouts for thousands of innocent users. This push for optimization eventually hit a wall. In 2018, Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger left the company, citing growing friction with Mark Zuckerberg's vision. Instagram engineered a solution for sharing mobile photos, but in optimizing that solution for scale and watch time, they proved a difficult truth. The problems you create are often much harder to solve than the ones you started with.